What if I told you there is an easier and faster way to write your novel without sacrificing your weekends, without burning yourself out to hit a certain word count every day, or giving up on your author dreams? And what if I told you that there is a proven 5-step system that I'm about to show you that has helped already a dozen of aspiring authors just like you finish their first draft in just 3 months thanks to one magic number: 85. Hi, I'm Julian, author coach and story consultant, and over the past few years, I've helped thousands of writers overcome their creative blocks and finally complete their novel, even while juggling full-time jobs, kids, and chaotic schedules. And as someone who's just finished the first draft or their debut novel, I know how overwhelming the process can feel. And here's the thing, most strategy you've heard about writing every single day or cranking out thousands of words every single week just don't work for busy, aspiring authors. That's why so many writers feel stuck, stressed, or burnt out with nothing left but an unfinished manuscript collecting dust in a drawer. But today, I'm giving you something different. In this video, I reveal the exact 5 strategies that my clients use to stay on track, gamify their writing, and complete their novel in 3 realistic months. And here's the kicker. All 5 strategies revolve around that one magic number that will transform your writing process: 85. Now, what does the number 85 mean? Well, let's find out and get right into it. These strategies are derived from the book, The 12-Week Year for Writers, which I'm not going to dive into the nitty-gritty of, but the point of that book is that ultimately it is the consistency of your actions that generate results. If you can stay consistent in 12 consecutive weeks, then you'll achieve more than most people would in 12 months. We can all say that we want to write a novel, but if you're not consistently working on your book, writing, editing, revising, then you're never really gonna hit that goal. And that's why I encourage my clients to use a simple but powerful framework with a little trick that changes everything: gamifying the writing process with a scoring system. Instead of stressing over impossible word count or stressing over the overall goal, in our case finishing a book, you'll focus on smaller, manageable steps and on actions you can control, like showing up to write, editing a chapter, or brainstorming ideas. Each action earns you points every week, and by tracking your score, you'll stay motivated and see progress build over time. It's fun, effective, and it keeps you moving forward. And that's where the number 85 comes in. The book argues that in order to make actual progress, you should aim to achieve at least 85% of your weekly actions. And that makes sense. I mean, not every day is the same. Life sometimes gets in the way, and you can't always achieve a perfect score. This approach is not about perfection, it's about consistent progress. Now I'm going to show you how to set up your game plan to write a novel in 3 months and how to keep track of your score. All of it on Notion, but you can do exactly the same on Excel or Google Sheets. If you Google the 12-week year scorecards, you will find templates that other people made. Alright, so let me show you what I'm talking about. So here we have an example of how you can use the Notion template to gamify your writing process and make real progress on your novel. But before we dive in, the first step, the first strategy is to define the main writing goal that you want to achieve in the next 12 weeks. For you, it might be simple, like I want to finish the first draft of my novel. But whatever your writing goal is, you can head over to your goals notebook here and write it down. The goals notebook is pretty much your brain dump. And as you can see, the goals appear as a list because depending on where you are at in your writing journey, you might be working on different books, each at different stages. So you might want to use this tracker for different writing goals that you may have for each book. So for example, you may have the first goal as write the first draft. Here I'm gonna add of book 1. And the second goal as outline book 2, for example. Having said that, in the 12-week year for writers, they recommend not to focus on more than 3 goals per cycle. And by experience, I can tell you that I personally managed to finish my first draft thanks to this system when it was the only goal that I had to focus on. So for this video, we will focus on only one writing goal. And if you get the template, then you can add one goal for each of your work in progress, and I'll show you how to do that in just a minute. Right, once you have your goal, the next strategy is to define weekly tactics. So ask yourself, what are the specific actions that you can control to get closer to your goal? So that would fall into the tactics sections, and remember, you can't control when inspiration strikes or how fast the words will flow, otherwise you'd be the next Brandon Sanderson or Stephen King. But you can control your effort, like setting aside times to write, revising consistently, or brainstorming and outlining your plot. Here, you want the actions that move the needle. You can have planning and bookwork actions, you can have writing actions, you can have editing and revising weekly actions. It really depends on how you work, and it depends also on your creative process, so these are just examples. So now that you have defined your writing goals and you have more clarity on your weekly actions, it's time to set up the game plan. For that, simply head to the game settings. On the left side, you'll have your goals, and on the right side, you have the weekly tactics that are associated with each goal. So this is pretty much where you transform your notes from the goals notebook into a game system. So you add your goals and you set your weekly tactics. Once you have that done, it's time to head to the 12-week novel writing tracker where the score tracking magic happens. So here's how I set up the tracker. So I have my main writing goal here. So finish my first draft. If you have more than one, then you can just click on add a group. You find your second goal in this list and then you're good to go. Then for each goal, I break it down into smaller weekly actions that we've already defined. So if you click on the goal here, you'll have the tactics from the game settings appearing on the right, and then you can define them for each week. So for the sake of this video, I'm committing to writing for 5 sessions a week and working on world building and character development 3 times a week. Oh, and by the way, if you'd like to know more about my brainstorming and outlining process, I'll be making videos on that soon, so make sure to subscribe so that you don't miss them. Right, so each action that I put under each goal is specific, measurable, and entirely within my control. Now, the fourth strategy is that at the end of each week, I review my score on how I did for each action and adjust the game plan for the following week if needed. I usually do it on Friday morning because Fridays are the beginning of my weeks, at least in my own mind. But if for you, like most people, your week starts on Monday, then what you can do is you can do that review either on Sunday evenings or Monday morning. But because it's not a habit yet, I would strongly encourage you to set a reminder just to not forget, at least at the very beginning. It's really important because reviewing your week is part of the process. So during that week review, I would check, did I complete all 5 writing sessions? Maybe I hit 4 out of 5. That would be 80% for the action. Did I dedicate 3 hours of book work that week? If, for example, I only work 2 hours on the world building or character development, then that's roughly 66% of that weekly action. Each action gets a percentage score, and notice that this week's score is increasing as I check things off, which will give you your total score for that week. As I said earlier, the book, The 12-Week Year for Writers, suggests aiming for at least 85% every week. It's not about perfection, life happens, but if you hit 85% consistently, then you're likely making significant progress towards your goals. And if you're not hitting that score, then it's a chance for you to reflect. Am I taking on too much? Do I need to adjust my goals to be more realistic? Or am I getting distracted by things that are simply not helping me write my novel? The beauty of this system is its flexibility. For example here, if I'm consistently not hitting my goal of 5 writing sessions a week, then maybe I am at capacity for that weekly action and I might scale it down to 4 and see if that's more manageable. Or maybe the score helps me realize that I'm spending too much doom scrolling on Instagram, on social media, and I need to set boundaries. It is a way to hold yourself accountable and adapt your routine to what works for you. Now, the last strategy, this one is meant to keep you motivated because not every week will be the same. Writing a novel can be pretty lonely sometimes, and there will be times where you won't really feel like working on it. This strategy is there to help you remember the why, to remind you of all the reasons why your story matters and all the reasons why you started writing this novel in the first place. And so the 5th strategy is to visualize your writing goals. At the top of the novel writing tracker, you'll find 3 vision boards to help you visualize your goals. So there is first on the right, the 1-year goal section. In the middle, you'll have the 3-year visions, and then on the left, you'll have your aspirational goals. You can create your own vision boards to fit your own vision and replace these. These are just my own. I also made a separate video on creating mood boards specifically for novels. So if that's something that you'd like to have here, for example, for the 1-year goal section, then definitely check it out. There will be a link in the description down below. And that's it. So you see, with this system, writing a novel is no longer a daunting task. As I said, you're not just writing, you're gamifying the process, you're having fun, you're staying motivated, and more importantly, you're making real progress towards your novel. Not only does it keep things simple, but it keeps you focused on action that will make your author dreams come true. Remember, it's all about the consistency of your actions, so aim for that magic number, 85%, and I guarantee you in 3 months' time, you'll have your first draft ready, just like mine. And don't forget, you can grab the Notion template I mentioned in this video. It's linked in the description down below. Now, I want you to hit the notification bell because in the next videos, I'm going to be sharing all the strategies that I teach my clients to plan and outline a successful novel. Until then, if you want to take your writing to the next level, then check out this video where I walk you through all the different features of the writing tool that I created on Notion. It's designed to help you brainstorm, outline, and plan your novel effortlessly. Trust me, you're gonna like it. So hit the like button if you found that video helpful, subscribe for more writing tips and tools, and I will see you in the next one.